And so the question becomes, how do I experience sustainable abundance where it is maintained? There aren't the peaks and valleys, or it smooths out some. How do I get to that place? How do I shift my consciousness so completely to the divine that my outward experience begins to be more sustainable? So let's talk about that. So the coach in me always has some practices for you, so here we go. One of the things that is necessary is preparing the space before supply arrives. When you are expecting a child, or you're bringing home a puppy, or anything is happening like that, where you're bringing something new into your life and your experience, you prepare for that. You prepare your space, your mind, everything gets prepared for that arrival. And so that's the same thing with supply, getting prepared before it arrives. We don't think about, how do I need to prepare myself for this? One of the things I work with my clients on is I give them what I call a vision brief. I always have them paint a picture, a very detailed picture of what it is they desire. And the process of doing this vision brief and writing this down helps them begin to plan for increase, plan for their new role, plan for their new revenue level, whatever it is. They begin to actually plan before we get there so that once the money arrives, they're prepared for that. They've already thought this through. And so I invite you to be thinking right now about your life. Here's your move. Think about your life. And think about something that you want to call into your experience. Or something that right now might feel like a little bit of a challenge and you need some sustainable abundance or desire sustainable abundance. Can everybody think of one thing? Yes? Everybody got one thing? Okay. So I want you now to be thinking about, what can I do to prepare a place for this in my life, as though I were welcoming in a baby or a puppy. And I use those because, typically we plan a lot for those things. For other things for ourselves, we can tend to wing it, but we tend to really plan for those kinds of things. So think for yourself, if you're calling in this magnificent relationship that is loving and supportive, where you feel respected and cherished, and whatever it is that you're calling in, then begin to prepare for that. So how do you prepare for that? Maybe it's getting rid of some old toxic beliefs that don't serve you any longer, getting rid of stories that don't work any longer, getting rid of people that are in your ear that are speaking only about the problem and not about the solution. Getting the old baggage out. I've shared with you all before that one of the things I do, and now it works all the time because I have neural pathways developed for it, I have the consciousness for it. But one of the things I do when I have a cash flow issue in my business is I clean out a closet. I go clean out a closet. And every single time I clean out a closet, money shows up. And so now it's happened so much, it's my story. But part of what's happening is getting rid of old stuff. I'm creating space. Nature abhors a vacuum. So by getting rid of stuff I no longer need, getting rid of stuff that doesn't spark joy, getting rid of stuff that is not really necessary, it's just taking up space, it's dead weight. Some things actually belong to someone else. I'm withholding good from someone else by holding on to stuff that I don't need, but someone else could use. They've served their purpose in my life. So by holding on to that stuff, I'm blocking flow, I'm blocking overflow. Right? Nothing's moving, yes? And so finding things to get rid of. So I have a confession. So I have a confession to make. One of the things I did over Thanksgiving, so today's Sunday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I had in my guest room closet a 36-inch wide lateral 2-drawer file cabinet. And I donated the file cabinet. But I had like bags and bags and bags of files. So here's a little thing that was a key for me, like it was a clue that I didn't need that stuff. I had not opened that file cabinet in 3 years, okay? It's been in a closet, locked. And I started going through files and shredding and shredding and shredding. But the point I'm making is this. What it pointed out to me was, how on earth was I holding on to that much stuff that I literally did not need? I had not looked at it in years. And so I invite you into your own life, and maybe it's not files, maybe there's something else. I ask you to look for yourself, what is no longer needed in your world? What can you dump and let go of? because that's part of preparing the space for what you desire.